A strange cloud that no one knows where it came from. A deer that breaks through the barriers of logic. And even celestial bodies that are changed at will. These are just a few of the shocking recordings you'll see in this collection. Because my name is Leonore Clay, and this is The Darkest Secret. Today we present 10 videos that captured glitches in reality. Number 10. We begin with mysterious footage that has started circulating on the internet. A local man was walking through a lush forest in broad daylight and decided to use his cell phone to record what seemed like a normal landscape. That is, until something in the sky caught his attention. There, above the treetops, a cloud could be seen that didn't match the others in the surroundings in the least. White, perfectly defined with straight edges and a shape that resembled an elongated cube, as if someone had cut it with a ruler. Some might say it's an unusual meteorological phenomenon, perhaps a strange vapor formation, or the result of particular air currents. Others might even speak of a simple optical effect caused by the light and perspective. But what if it wasn't any of those? What if we're facing an anomaly more akin to a glitch in the Matrix? A glitch in reality itself that for some reason was exposed in broad daylight for anyone to see and record. Do you think this cloud is just a product of nature? Or is there something else going on? Let me know in the comment box. Number 9. Usually most things that seem strange are just coincidences. But there are times when no matter how hard we try, coincidences can't explain what we're seeing. Things like what you're about to witness. In this video, recorded in broad daylight, a woman was sitting in her car, parked in a parking lot. She used her cell phone to capture another vehicle passing by, until she decided to turn the camera toward the car right next to hers. At that moment, she was surprised and realized a shocking coincidence. Did you notice? If you're observant, you would have realized how the steering wheel cover and that card hanging from the mirror are identical to those of her own car. And we're not talking about common objects. If we look closely, both the steering wheel cover and the card have very specific characteristics in terms of color, textures, and designs that by sheer probability are almost impossible to be exactly repeated on another vehicle parked right next to them. So, are we dealing with simple video manipulation? A coincidence so improbable it borders on the impossible, or perhaps an imperfection in our reality? A glitch that allowed two versions of the same car to coexist in the same spot? Tell me what conjectures you can draw from this recording. Number 8. Bizarre things can happen right in front of you when you least expect them. And this is one of those cases. A man was calmly traveling on a train, filming with his cell phone to pass the time. The curious thing began when pointing the camera to one side. Everything seemed to be moving at high speed, as if the train were going full speed. But when he turned the phone toward the windows on the opposite side, the scene changed completely. How would you react if you were involved in something like this? The man doesn't know what to do except turn his phone back and forth, trying to understand what's happening. How is it possible that at the same time, one side is showing extreme speed and the other is moving at a snail's pace? We might think another train is passing on one side, creating an optical illusion. But despite the apparent speed, the presence of another train is not clearly discernible. We could also blame perspective, the terrain, or even a curious reflection effect through the glass. But none of these explanations seem to fit entirely. And if we leave logic aside, could this be a glitch in reality? That suddenly the rules of our world get out of sync and let us see something we shouldn't. Without a doubt, this is one of the strangest clips I've seen recently. Number 7. Night was falling, and a man was driving peacefully down the highway returning from work. Suddenly, something crossed his path. A small deer appeared, running right in front of his vehicle. The driver, surprised, decided to slow down slightly so as not to scare it and see if the animal could find its way out on its own. However, what he saw next left him speechless. The deer runs a few meters and upon reaching the side of the road, leaps straight toward the guardrail, and the incredible happens. Instead of bouncing or climbing, it seems to go right through it. Did you capture that? As if it were a ghost or a creature that doesn't quite belong to this world. Theories were swift on social media. Some claim it could be an optical error caused by low light and camera speed. Others swear it's a trick of perspective, and yet others say the camera simply failed to capture the exact moment of the jump. But when you look at the video closely, the way the deer disappears behind the barrier doesn't fit any of those explanations. Maybe, just maybe, we're facing another glitch in reality. What do you think? Is this just a recording error? Or a moment when the rules of our world simply broke? Comment below. Number 6. On a quiet, sunny afternoon, a man decided to film his young daughter happily playing in their backyard, sliding down her slide again and again. Nothing out of the ordinary, or so it seemed. Hours later, at night, the man was reviewing the recordings on a cell phone when he realized something that left him completely perplexed. At first glance, everything seems normal. However, if you pay attention, the girl's body doesn't seem entirely solid, doesn't it? Her silhouette looks strangely translucent. In fact, even the background of the garden can be clearly seen through it, as if her body weren't entirely present in this shot. The most logical explanations point to an optical effect, perhaps a strange reflection, a reflection of light or an accidental filter on the camera. However, none of these hypotheses seem to fully clarify the situation. On the other hand, what if it were a glitch in the matrix? A fleeting moment when reality revealed a flaw, or some other phenomena we can't yet understand. Let me know your opinion. Number 5. The following image was captured by a family who was leisurely traveling along the highway, enjoying a drive. Suddenly, on the side of the road, they saw 2 beautiful deer, which they decided to record on camera. Nothing unusual, until what you see below happened. At the beginning of this recording, we can clearly see 2 deer, but as they pass right in front of them, out of nowhere, a third one appears behind the other 2. It didn't run in. It didn't jump out of a bush. It was simply there, as if it had always been there, but invisible, until that moment. What happened here? Some logical explanations could be that the third deer was perfectly camouflaged with the surroundings, hidden behind some bush that we failed to realize. Or even that the camera had some focus error that made it suddenly appear. However, these theories fail to fully explain the scene, and this is where the most disturbing thought arises. What if it wasn't a visual trick, but a glitch in our reality? A small glitch in the code that maintains our world. Like a video game that clones an NPC in real time. What do you think happened here? A simple trick of nature? Or something that defies the rules of our existence? What are your thoughts on this topic? Number 4. Even in your own everyday life, strange situations can occur that defy all logic. And the case you're about to see is one of them. A mother was calmly filming her young son, who was standing in an area enclosed by a small fence inside the house, a barrier that in theory was supposed to keep him in place. However, the unexpected occurred. Even though the boy is small, what we see is still surprising. He manages to squeeze through the bars of the fence, which seem much narrower than his own body. How can this be? On social media, many have attempted to give it an explanation, a simple perspective effect, some optical trick, or even digital manipulation. But if you look closely, the sequence is uncut, and the child's progress looks completely natural, which rules out any obvious intervention in the image. So what are we really seeing? A simple physical coincidence, or a glitch in reality, where the baby simply ignores the existence of that bar? Without a doubt, a film that leaves you with a lot to think about. Number 3. A person traveling on a commercial flight captures the following video. He points out that the cloud continued in a straight line until it disappeared over the horizon. Could something like this happen normally, with such a clean cut? What's stopping the clouds from occupying the other side? If you know the answer to how this could have happened, leave it in the comment box. Because so far, for Julian Matamala, this is a glitch in reality. What do you think? As always, you be the judge. Number 2. Sometimes when you go out on the street, you can encounter things so odd that your brain takes a while to process what you're seeing. Something like that happened to the person who recorded the video that occupies this position. According to her story, she was returning home after a day of shopping, waiting for the traffic light to change to cross a busy avenue, when suddenly something in the distance caught her attention. What we see is bizarre, almost as if it were part of a cartoon or anime. A man with his back turned, who appears to be running, but moving so slowly that he gives the impression of being stationary. In fact, he seems to be riding an invisible bicycle. Do you see it? Given the way he runs, some say it could be an artistic intervention, or even a new type of sport. But if we put aside those theories and look closely, the body's movement doesn't fit with normal physics. The steps, the swaying, the speed, it doesn't look natural. It's as if someone had altered a very small part of our reality. Are we witnessing the emergence of a new sport? Or do you simply believe this is a glitch in reality? Leave your theories below. Number 1. We conclude this countdown with a disturbing piece of footage that could easily call into question our entire reality. The story begins with a young woman who one evening decided to film the sky from her apartment window. Between the buildings, the moon shone brightly, but she wasn't alone. Very close to her, a second light appeared, like an opaque reflection, almost identical to the moon, which seemed to slightly accompany her. Up to this point, everything was normal, until the following occurred. As can be seen in the sequence, in fractions of a second, that mysterious projection changes sides, positioning itself on the other side of the moon, as if someone or something had decided to move it at will. It's as if we were watching pieces of a gigantic celestial puzzle rearranging themselves before our very eyes. Is this a simple perspective error? Perhaps a fault in the camera lens? Or some unusual optical phenomena? more or less theories, the truth is that the speed and precision with which the change occurs seems to defy any logical explanation. What do you think is going on here? A recording error? Or a careless simulation that occasionally reveals itself to those attentive enough to notice it? If you want to go deeper into this, leave it in the comment box. Because this video has come to an end. My name is Leonore Clay, and this was the darkest secret